Right, enough Mourinho, Spurs, Son, Solskjaer, everything you want. It's time for quick hits, okay?
Let's go.
Manchester City suffered against Leeds their second defeat in the last 28 games. Ogie, what happened? How did they lose that game?
If you look at the stats, I think they had about 28 shots on target to Leeds' 2. Leeds scored twice. It was just one of those games. I think 7 changes that Pep made. Still a strong team, but Leeds are Leeds. You know, they can beat anyone on the day, and I thought Leeds deserved the win actually, even though they were battered and they were
down to 10.
Down to 10. Great finish by Dallas at the end. So. Wow. I think it's good for the league that these things happen every now and again. I think it's a good reward for Bielsa as well at Leeds that they're getting these results.
You know, we talked about fitness a lot for United and all of that, but Leeds, how much running they do during games, and then Dallas in the 93rd or 4th minute, making that runs from really, really deep to score. It's incredible.
Yeah, and we're always told that Bielsa teams run out of steam at the end of the season.
Yeah.
But they're actually going... But they play fewer games in the Premier League than they do it.
True.
So maybe that's helped. But no, I think Leeds have been fantastic this season, and it's a great... I just wish there were away fans in. Can you imagine the scenes of the fans at the Etihad? If the Leeds fans had seen that goal going at 93rd minute, another thing we've been denied this season.
The Leeds Man United coming up, especially after what happened in the return fixture, will be pretty special.
Absolutely, yeah. So, Jules, Atletico dropped 2 more points this weekend at Betis. Are they getting worse, or do you see signs of improvement?
Do you know what? I didn't think it was that bad performance. It's always hard, I think, to go to Betis. They're a good team with Pellegrini, and they've got really good players. They play good football, and Atleti took the lead early with Carrasco, and I thought, okay, this is it now. They're going to go back to winning ways because the pressure is so much on them. They conceded a goal. It's only a point, but I thought defensively they look strong. They've got players missing. No Suarez, Joao Felix got injured, so they've got a few players. Lemar could not play. But I don't know, I like the spirit that I saw. And I think if they'd played with that spirit in the last few games, they would have won more points than they did. They're 1 point clear of Real Madrid, 2 of Barca. Of course, they might not be the favourite and Real might be stronger. But I still think they will have their word to say on this title race every time.
And this is the scenario now with Atletico where they're suddenly the underdogs again. The big two kind of chased them down, so this will actually help Simeone inspire.
Yeah,
this is what we
and
do.
He said at the end, he said, you know what? I think we would like having that sort of resistance mood to go into games, to not lose our lead in the table and everything. So I think they might have still a lot of fight in them. Kai Havertz finally scored a goal, and Chelsea beat Crystal Palace easily at the weekend. Ogie, did this feel like Havertz' season finally started, finally underway?
No, do you know, I think it's been going for about a month now. I saw him at the Chelsea-Everton game about a month ago, and I think there's been signs that he's been finding his form. Him and Werner together they might not have been scoring the goals, but they've been finding a way to play. He looks happier. So I think that Tuchel's come in and he's found a way to get the best out of Havertz. So this is a continuation of his improvement. I think a lot of people are writing him off, but I think now he's showing that next season, that second season, he'll be a much better player for Chelsea.
Do you think he needs... I think he needs a run of games now. So you can't just start him like against Leeds. He was really good at Leeds, for example. Even if he could have scored a hat-trick easily. But then he might not play the next game, then comes back against Porto, for example, where he's dreadful for an hour. So maybe if you give him a good run of games, that would help.
I think he knows he's got a manager or a coach that not just believes in him, but knows how to get the best out of him. I don't think Lampard knew what to do with him.
Yeah,
I saw so many Chelsea games under Lampard that he was in a different position most weeks, and I think Tuchel knows what to do, how to tick the right boxes. So I think that's what's happening with Havertz.
Yeah,
he's just getting the benefit of a coach who knows the way he plays. So Bayern conceded a late goal at the weekend. They had a very weakened team against Union Berlin. Is the Champions League all that matters now? PSG away, big game, 3-2 down.
Yeah, I think it's a big game, and they had to rotate, and they had a lot of players with other little niggles like Goretzka, who could not play, or some that were not fully fit either. Then you kind of lose command at halftime, although that was always the plan for him to play 45 minutes. So it was not ideal at all, even if they took the lead by Musiala. Then Union scored late. They still have a quite hefty cushion at the top of the Bundesliga, so that's not... I don't think that's a problem. They would not see it as a problem. However, the game against PSG is huge on Tuesday night, and I think they will be hugely disappointed, especially after the way the first leg went, if they were to be knocked out by PSG.
No Lewandowski though. I mean, at the beginning to find it's a struggle, aren't they?
Yeah, they will need to find someone else to get those chances in, because they will create again enough, I think. Trent Alexander-Arnold showed Gareth Southgate what he can do, as Liverpool got a huge win against Aston Villa on Saturday in added time as well, okay?
It showed what he can do, but it showed what he couldn't do as well. Because I was watching...
don't be too harsh.
No, but listen, Gareth Southgate was there, and it was interesting because in the final 10 minutes, Alexander-Arnold was done twice by Trezeguet down his defensive side of the pitch. Yeah. Embarrassingly so. And Gareth Southgate wants a defender who can defend first and foremost. And
I know, but he brings you so much more.
He does. And this is the problem with Alexander-Arnold. That, for me, I've done a piece for today which says that maybe it's time to consider giving Alexander-Arnold going midfield, because he's got the attributes of a midfielder. He's got the athleticism, the passing range. Maybe he's getting bored at right back. If your right back is in the left-hand channel of the opposition's box in the 93rd minute.
But that was surely what Klopp asked him. Like, now let's all go in and try to score.
He's got that in his game, and I just think the strengths that Alexander-Arnold's got are in the attacking third of the pitch. Defensively, he can be caught out, and I think we saw that at the weekend. The very final minute of the game, 96th minute, a ball comes into El Ghazi, and he's just gone asleep.
So
he can't focus on his defensive attributes. And as Gary Neville said last week on Sky, in the Euros, if you're getting people like Leroy Sané running down the wing at him or Eden Hazard, you're not going to pick Trent Alexander-Arnold as your right back.
Yeah,
so
maybe.
It's a big question for
Southgate.
It is a big
one.
Inter, another 1-0 win, this time against Cagliari. They're getting closer.
They've won 11 in a row now, Oggy, and I think the last 6 games with 1 goal margin to win. 3 of the last 6, 1-0. They're just so solid. Lukaku, I mean, not that Lukaku scored in that game, but it was a solid performance again. There's no nonsense. They know exactly what to do, and they've been really good at it. West Ham beat Leicester, Oggy, with another masterclass from Jesse Lingard. What's going on?
You just got to give massive credit to David Moyes. He spotted the fact that Jesse Lingard could score goals, could deliver for West Ham. So rather than praise Jesse Lingard, which he gets every week now, let's praise David Moyes for seeing the value in Jesse Lingard and getting West Ham at the top 4 and maybe the Champions League.
I'm with you.
So PSG, Bayern Munich on Tuesday, you must be getting worried.
Man, I've got my fingers crossed, my toes crossed, my legs crossed, my arms crossed, everything crossed that I can possible. I just want them to do it. They won at the weekend against Strasbourg on Saturday. The B team, C team, whatever you want. I'm not sure Bayern looks much healthier as well. I think Verratti is back, and I just really, really hope they can do it, man. Olympiakos beat Panathinaikos this weekend to be crowned Greek champions for the 46th times. Well done to them, Oggy. They're the second team in Europe to be crowned champion after Rangers.
Yeah, Rangers won it quite a long time ago now, but Olympiakos are perennial, aren't they? I do feel sorry for teams like Panathinaikos and AK Athens, famous names, but Olympiakos just get it wrapped up every year.
Every year, man. 2 in a row now. Well done. They've got loads of French players, so, I had to put them in there. Well done to them.
So, Jules, why did a game in the Colombian First Division make history this weekend?
This is crazy, Oggy. Listen to this. So, Águilas Doradas plays against Boyacá Chico. It's first division in Colombia. Not that I expect you to know many of those players. However, Águilas, who have 29 players in their squads, because it's a big season and everything, have 7 players injured and 15 players with COVID, which means they can only field 7 players. They asked for the game to be postponed. The league said no, so they have to play 7v11 against Boyacá Chicos, and it's 0-0 at half time. Jeez. In the end, they lose 3-0, but I thought it was an absolute joke. I mean, their formation was like the keeper, then 3, 2 and 1 against 11.
So 3-0 defeat is a moral victory, isn't it?
It's not too bad, but I guess they would not want to play too many games at 7 against 11. That's all we have time for today. Oggy, thank you so much. You just brought a different energy and vibe than when Gabby's here.
Absolutely, I just brighten the place up.
I'll see what I can do for you to come back next week. In the meantime, as Gab always says, love yourself, love the game, love your neighbor.